Welcome. Today's episode is about something I know many of us have experienced. You've had a long day, there's been so much going on, and you're waiting for that moment when everything is done. You can finally sit down and relax. But you still can't. You're exhausted, but your body just won't switch off. You can't sleep, you can't unwind, and you start wondering, why is that so hard? That's what we're going to explore today. Why your nervous system can stay stuck in stress mode, how Ayurveda views this wired but tired feeling, and how you can practically what you can practically do to find your way back to rest. If you'd like to, you can pause now and grab a pen and paper. Some ideas may really speak to you, and writing them down always helps your mind process and remember. Today I would like to start with setting an intention. So sit back for a moment, or if you're walking, stay with your awareness more inwards. And start arriving here, wherever you are, whatever you do. If you can, close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let your breath settle. Take a fuller breath in and then let it go through the mouth. And again, fuller breath in. And once more, a fuller breath in. And let go through the mouth. Now ask yourself, why did I choose to listen to this today? What drew you in? And what do you hope to get out of it? What do you hope to learn? Form a short intention. Phrase it as if it is already true. Something like, I feel calm and grounded. Or I am calm and grounded. I know how to relax and let go. Or I relax and let go. Say your intention to yourself 3 times. See how it lands. See how it resonates with you. Then take again a little fuller breath. Maybe stretch out through the arms. And then let's start. What I feel is so important to understand is that relaxation is not a mindset. It's actually a physiological shift. We work with 2 branches of the nervous system. The sympathetic one that gets us going, manages stress, and the parasympathetic one that allows us to relax and digest. These are designed to balance each other, but sometimes they don't catch up with where we are now. And especially if we are in the same situation, high strung throughout the day, you have been in a long day, and you go from one deadline to the other. So even though the day is over, your body hasn't realized yet. That's when we're stuck in sympathetic mode, or in English, in the fight and flight response. And just to say, the sympathetic system shouldn't get a bad reputation. Not all stress is bad. The sympathetic system evolved us to help us survive. It gets us moving. It helps us meet danger. But these days, it's not the wild animals that threaten us. It's the deadlines, parenting, mental load. And our system, it doesn't distinguish between an actual emergency or life-threatening situation and a stressful to-do list. So it keeps us wired, and we don't know how to switch it off anymore. What it looks like when you're stuck in stress mode. Here are some signs. Thoughts keep coming. You're lying down, watching something, but there's still a feeling that you should be doing something. Maybe you get up again. Maybe your shoulders are tight and tense. You feel tired, but also wired. Means you really want to rest and sleep, but you are not able to. Your digestion might be unsettled. Even if you're eating well, your body can't process the food as well as it usually does. Hormonal shifts may be showing up around your cycle or perimenopause or menopause. So it's not just in your head, it's your whole body, your whole system that experiences it. Let's take a look at the Ayurvedic view. One of the first things to know is Ayurveda never sees anything as an isolated event. We don't say, I need to relax tonight, or tomorrow I'll start fresh. Ayurveda sees the whole day as a preparation for the next step. The morning prepares for the day. That's why we set up routines. The day sets up for the evening. The evening prepares you for the night and for sleep. And that leads into the next day, and so forth. So if your day was high-paced and stressful, unless you've built in little spaces to drop out of that stress, then it will continue into the evening. The nervous system doesn't shift unless you give it a reason to, especially if you are in that mode for a long time, which means relaxation starts long before you sit on your sofa and start watching your favorite movie or show. It starts how we live the whole day. I would like you to introduce to an Ayurvedic principle that might seem unrelated at first, the gunas. The gunas are the mental qualities. According to Ayurveda, our mind is made up of air and ether. That means it is very light, it is very fast, and it is without boundaries. That's why it can feel scattered, lost in space, so to speak. And that's why we need structure. There are 3 universal qualities that influence the mind. Sattva, it's calm, it's clarity, it's balance, it's peace. Rajas is activity and movement and stimulation. And tamas is heaviness, inertia, dullness. Each one has a role. They are all needed. Sattva is and brings everything into balance. Rajas is natural quality of the day and helps us get things done. But too much can make us feel impatient or judgmental or critical. Tamas helps us sleep. It's dominant in the night, but during the day, it can make us feel inert and stuck. When they go too dominant, or we get stuck in them, that's where the above imbalances show up. Sattva is like an umbrella that we aim for. When sattva is active, the others just do their job. We can influence these gunas through food, through rhythms and lifestyle. We'll come back to that shortly. Although the gunas are independent qualities in their own rights, you might notice certain similarities with the next principle, the doshas. The doshas respond very uniquely to stress. Let's look how Vata, Pitta, and Kapha respond in their own ways. And that means each of us will unwind or struggle to unwind in our unique way as well. You might already know your own constitution, or maybe you have noticed how different people in your family or your colleagues or your friends react to stress differently. Let's go through them. Vata dosha, remember it's air and ether. Vata gets overstimulated easily. There's a sense of jumpiness, of nervous energy. Thoughts come quickly and in all directions. There's a worry, restlessness, and a general feeling of being unsettled. Sleep becomes light or broken. Pitta dosha is fire and water. Pitta is more driven. It wants to get things done. The stress response here is intensity, irritability, impatience, mental burnout. Pitta tends to resist rest. And if it goes to bed too late, it often gets a second wind after 10 p.m. and ends up staying far too long. Kapha, earth and water, Kapha is naturally more grounded, but under stress it tends to withdraw. It might feel emotionally flat or stuck. There's a heaviness and a tendency to procrastinating. It's harder to get going, especially in the morning, and mental fog can feel very real. Tools to balance the doshas are easy. You don't need a complex plan. You just need to know which direction you lean in. Ayurveda always says, like increases like. Opposites bring balance. Let's look at what helps each dosha unwind. To balance Vata's worries and restlessness, you can apply warm sesame oil in the morning and in the evening. Abhyanga oil massage. Journaling or free writing to get these swirling thoughts onto paper and out of the head. Early bedtime, even just lying down is something calming. Or read something. Even just lying down helps. Or you have something calming to read if you go to bed early. soothing tea or spiced milk, grounding practices like breathing techniques, blankets, warm baths. To cool pitta's irritability and fed up, switch off screens early to reduce this intense brightness light input through the eyes. Cool the feet with coconut oil. Just before you go to bed, apply coconut oil on your foot soles. Choose calming but not stimulating content in the evening to watch or to read or to listen to. Wear breathable fabrics like cotton, linen, or silk. Use cooling herbs such as brahmi, rose, or fennel. Get kapha's heaviness and slowness with starting the day early, before 6 a.m. if possible. Get moving in the morning. Some energizing yoga or breathing technique. Avoid sleeping in and napping during the day. Stimulate your senses, uplifting music, aromatherapy, light spicy teas. Vata and Pitta, they need to slow down and relax like that. But Kapha, because it's naturally grounded, remember, that needs to be stimulated to balance. Remember, these aren't rules, they are tools. And you don't have to do all of them. Choose one you experience again and again, and try one balancing aspect for a couple of weeks. So when you think about it, what do you recognize the most in yourself? Which of these stress responses are most familiar to you? The Vata aspects, the Pitta, or the Kapha aspects? We have looked at the way we can individually experience stress and how we can balance it. But there's another, an overarching way, independent of the doshas. Think about daily routine as medicine. In Ayurveda, the rhythm of the day is called Dinacharya. Dina is the day and Charya is the routine. And it's one of the most powerful and often overlooked forms of medicine, of ways how we can make ourselves feel better. Why? Because the day follows different rhythms, and they are influenced by the doshas that are active not just in us, but they are also active throughout the days. And when these doshas are active, there's a special energy which we can use when we work with it, or where we can lose energy when we work against it. So the Dinacharya structure brings stability. The morning sets the tone for the day. Lunchtime is for nourishment and digestion and brings energy for the afternoon. Evening is for slowing down. The night is for repair and deep rest and nourishing the tissues. So even if your routine isn't perfect, but the consistency alone starts to soothe the nervous system. Let's circle back at the gunas and look at them from a different angle, from the food angle. In last week's episode, we talked about the relationship between food and stress, or more precisely, the food and snacking and stress. So you know that food plays an important role. Ayurveda teaches that food has qualities, and those qualities affect the mind. So sattvic food is light, is fresh, it's seasonal, it's wholesome, it's warm, easy to digest, and it promotes clarity. Rajasic food, with its spicy and sour and salting, it's stimulating, salty. And it's stimulating, it increases speed and reactivity. Tamasic food is heavy and stale and processed. It dulls the mind and the body. So if our goal is relaxation, food matters. Caffeine, for example, might feel like a treat, but it stimulates the nervous system and dries the tissues. It's not helping us to unwind. Equally unhelpful are highly processed foods because of their tamasic qualities, or spicy foods because of their rajasic qualities. If you eat a spicy curry when you are stressed, it might taste lovely and filling and nourishing, but it still nourishes the rajasic quality as well. So instead of those, choose warm homemade meals. Whole grain like rice, oats, wheat, cooked vegetables, ghee or sesame oil in moderation. Avoid eating heavy meals late at night. A light dinner at 6 p.m. is ideal. That gives our body time to digest before they sleep. Here's an evening wind-down ritual or routine that you could try. You don't need a 10-step nighttime routine. Just 1 or 2 consistent signals can teach your body the day is done. It's good to relax now. Here are some suggestions. Journaling, free writing, or list making to stop the must-remember thoughts, empty the busy mind, and help you to dig deeper if you feel you need to work through something. Gentle yoga, legs up the wall, gentle twists, supine twists when you're lying on your bed, supported bridge pose or dynamic bridge pose. Alternate nostril breathing to balance both hemispheres of the brain, ideal for long hours on the computer. Foot soak in warm water, especially for cold hands and feet, and especially in the colder months. Rose water eye pads, my favorite. Beautifully cooling practice for the eyes and the brain. And it is my non-negotiable when I go to bed. Spiced milk, warm dairy or plant milk with cinnamon, cardamom, pinch of nutmeg or brahmi or fennel seeds. Also, this features most evenings in my routine. These practices, done consistently for 2 or 3 weeks, they really can start you retrain your body. They tell the nervous system you can let go now. When you've been stuck in go mode for too long, your body needs help finding its way out. In this post, we explored 5 Ayurvedic shifts to help you switch off. Remember, your nervous system needs physical cues, not just positive thinking. The gunas influence your mental states, and they respond to rhythm, food, and input. And you just want to stimulate the sattvic guna. Second, your dosha shapes how you respond to stress and determines how you can unwind. Third, daily routines create stability, structure for your mind. Fourth, the food you eat can guide your system towards rest. Fifth, consistent evening routine to teach the body and the brain that it's time now to relax. There's nothing to, or better phrase it, that everything has been taken care of and tomorrow is another day. This might feel like a lot, but always remember, you don't need to do everything at once. Choose one small shift and stay with it for a couple of weeks. That's where the transformation begins. If this resonated with you, I'd love to invite you to my course, Stress Less, Live More. It's designed for busy women like you and helps you create sustainable, practical, and relevant routines throughout your day. It's a short and self-paced course. You can comfortably complete it in 2 weeks, filled with practical tools by the doshas. It gives you the why, the understanding behind the Ayurvedic principles relevant for you. It includes a private podcast so you can listen on the go. It comes with a workbook and a one-to-one session with me to personalize, fine-tune your routines and also answer any questions that are left about the content. You can find the link in the show notes. As a thank you for listening today, there's a special prize waiting for you. Let's close the episode the way we began, with a breath. Let it anchor you back into your body. Inhale gently through your nose. Exhale gently through your nose. May you feel grounded. May you rest well. And may you come home to yourself, one breath at a time. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.